Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified, qualified West Side host, Steve Lucky Luciano. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned in to the greatest show on earth. It's the Hard Luck Show. Coming at you live from the bunker right now in Southern California. Sitting across from me, my co-host, my partner, is...
Come on!
Yeah!
Is Chumahanbo, an American Indian, Southern Californian, elegant barbarian.
Yeah!
We got OGs, introverts, Indians, artists, all up in the mix. How does that happen? Only one place, the Hard Luck Show.
Yeah!
Exploring the American real.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Come on!
Yeah!
Yeah! Come on!
Yeah!
Huh.
Damn!
What?
Whoa, whoa!
Oh!
And on sound today, old Blue Eyes.
Sean
Oh,
Lewis,
yes it is.
certified audio professional, engineer
Yeah!
for the Hard Luck Show.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah! Yeah!
Come on.
Gang, gang!
Dude, that's Little Easy.
Yeah!
Easy, son.
Yeah, Lil Easy. Yeah! Listen, we have got...
Wait,
Oh, hey! Oh, hey!
give me an indication of which door we're
Hey.
starting with. All right.
Yeah,
I like that.
we got some guests in here. We got some dear friends of mine,
Yes, sir.
reoccurring guests,
Yes, sir.
open door policy
Yes,
friends of
sir.
ours, and we are doing a check back in with our very talented.
Wait.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right,
Yeah.
talented director, photographer extraordinaire, Mr. Patrick Hollick, back in the house, checking in with us today.
Patrick
what's up? Thank you for coming in, brother. Thank you for coming in today, brother.
Hey,
Let's check
just for the listener, so the listener knows, because I know Big Lep's listening right now.
Yep.
Give us a couple of quick hits from Patrick as a director. Like, who is he directing?
Dude, man.
Come on.
We're going to get into all that.
But just a quick couple.
Give us a quick couple.
Patrick, give us the top names of the...
Oh, not the names.
No.
Lucky Luciano.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
come on.
I am. I'm working with Lucky
But-
Luciano right
No,
now.
I know, but didn't you like come into like some producer's office and kick his table over and say, "Listen, we're making fucking videos outside."
They have to go to the old podcast to get the name drop.
Yeah, because name dropping.
Yeah.
That's why we're stopping.
Infamous
But I am. I'm
Patrick
working with
Hollick.
this guy.
Top of the food chain.
Top of the food chain.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we are. We are, and we'll be talking about that today.
Yes.
Yes, we
We
will.
will. And there's a mutual, very dear friend of me and Patrick's that's in today, and a mutual friend of the show's. My favorite crush in North America.
Right?
Rachel Sterling back to the show.
I come here for the intro.
Yeah.
I do.
Girl right here. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Man.
Come
that's
on.
it right there.
Yeah.
She's still de-aging. She looks 22 today.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah,
Do
Yes,
she's
you do.
de-aging.
Okay, good.
She is de-aging.
Yeah, it's like the portrait of Dorian Gray. Something's
Right,
up.
except it stops at 22.
She's been
I
like
don't know about
22,
22.
27.
Patrick has pictures of me when I was
yeah,
22.
she's been
Get
de-aging
the fuck
since I
out
met
of
her.
here.
It's so funny because remember I used to get mad. I'm like, can't you retouch? He refuses to retouch.
She doesn't
Retouch
need it.
what?
Yeah,
and
there's
now
no
I look at-
celluloid,
now I-
there's no
now I-
problems.
but when you're younger, I would look at the picture. I'm like, I don't like because I look tired. I look
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my god, was I ever that young?
You're still
It's
there.
crazy, right?
Are you kidding me?
Listen, let me ask you a question.
She has such good taste
Yes.
all the time. But these are hot right here. These are the shit right here. You just
Everybody,
got great
just
taste, man.
just so the listener knows, Steve is on his hands and he's taking pictures of Rachel's
my
shoes.
boots are kind of dirty, actually. They were like.
No, they're badass.
Dude,
They're
those are
some
like
pythons. They look like pythons.
Catwoman shoes.
I had to
man.
wrestle these from my cat.
Oh,
He
I
was
pay
sleeping on
attention.
them.
Last time she showed up in a leather jacket, I really
I
liked.
did.
Yeah.
I did show up in a leather jacket.
Wait a second. I want to know something. Patrick, you've worked with some of the most illustrious, beautiful women, right, in the world. You've seen them in flesh. You've seen them behind the camera. You've seen it all. So let's not fucking jerk each other off and lie about things. Let's get down to it.
Well, you can jerk each other off. You just don't have to lie.
All right. Well,
I wasn't prepared for any
Yeah.
of that, so please don't.
okay. Thank you. Listen, there's tarps.
There's
out.
a new
There's a
ad-
tarp
Wow,
in the
it's
drawer.
like a fucking Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, so what? Why does it seem like the really hot chicks kind of have an attitude, or they're annoyed easily? Like, is that part of the hot? is that part?
He's stupid.
Is that part of the hot chicks shtick? Like, can you speak to that at all? Do you have any experience with that?
I mean, that's probably just insecurity.
Is that what it
And
is?
immaturity.
And
immaturity.
yeah, immaturity, insecurity, probably.
Double
you know?
up.
Because
I've been lucky to work with people that don't have that energy, you know?
no, but because listen, Rachel Sterling. I'm going to tell you something. Rachel Sterling is kind of like an Oreo cookie in a sense, meaning that she's got a crunchy part, she's got a soft part,
Sure.
and it all comes together in a tasty.
Perfect.
Right. And one of the things that Rachel's got going is on the one hand, we've already said it, right? She's got a great look. She looks great. She looks fantastic. But she's also a comedian.
Yeah,
Yes.
but also a consummate professional since she was
Thank you.
put on Earth. Like, she goes over and above, comes early, leaves late, and she's always been that way. Like, when I
Right.
had her I was lucky,
you.
and I had her in a part in my first feature film. She was like, she had a little tiny thing, but she made the most of it. And
Right.
she was like inspiring.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between, pro and insecure and aloof and,
But when I listen to the stylings of Miss Sterling, right, there's a lot of annoyance in that, right? The comedy stylings of Miss Sterling. Like, for instance, I was listening to her podcast, right, Millennial Tendencies, like the
Yes,
latest episode.
millennial. And go have a listen if you haven't.
You listened to the latest episode?
Yes, I
Tuesday.
did.
Oh, so you okay?
I did.
Yeah, there was a. Okay.
I don't know. Every time I listen to it, she gets real nervous. And she looks at me like, "What the fuck is?"
What is that?
I always get nervous.
Why? What makes you
Well, just because the show reflects. It's almost like my open mic right now because there are no open mics, and it's kind of how I feel at the moment. It might change tomorrow. So, I'm saying it with conviction, whatever it is, and most of it's I'm talking out of my ass most of the time because it's meant to be funny. It's a comedic thing. I'm not a news outlet.
Right.
But sometimes
You're not?
I'm not a news outlet. Do not come to me for any actual information.
You're not. But so it's not true then. You're not starting a show with CNN. You're going to be an anchor.
No, you never know. Fake news.
Yeah,
Fake news.
yeah.
No, some people just when I was an actor, I really wanted people to take me seriously and no one took me seriously, and now I literally am like, fuck it. I tell jokes and just flat out fuckery, and everyone takes me so seriously.
Isn't that just the way?
It's so
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that.
Backwards.
So I'm gonna drop a bombshell because I don't think anybody else
What?
knows this.
What?
Look at her face.
I'm
I
scared.
love it.
Well,
shit.
first of all, Patrick, the last time I had like an outburst while I don't know what, I had feelings and they're dead now. But like,
hold on.
But, and then he played my, I
Listen, wait a second.
He played it.
I put it out in the public, and then he played it. That was crazy.
I wasn't ready. I was like, oh shit.
Patrick,
Yes.
listen. Here's the
What
deal.
happened, Patrick? Is
Listen.
what we want to know is what the hell happened?
Wait, were you talking about Patrick in that episode?
No, God, no.
Okay, all right.
Patrick plays my dad at all my weddings.
yes.
Is that true?
That's true.
Do you
Yeah.
walk her down
We
the
have,
aisle?
I walk
we
her
have
down.
pictures
Yeah.
together.
I do see a resemblance.
And
now
they're
that you
huge
speak of-
productions. And then You'll do a huge production. You'll play the father.
Yeah,
You'll do the whole
yeah,
bit. It's always far. You have to drive to Egypt or fly
it
in,
was San
and
Diego.
then a week Egypt. A few days later, you might see her, and you're like, "Hey," and she's like, "I got to talk to you," and you're like, "What?" And you're approaching an Uber as she's getting in, and you're like, "What's going on?" And she rolls down the window while it's driving off and goes, "I'm no longer married."
I
Till the
love
next
that.
one.
That's
Till the
what
next
happened.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
Next
That's
we
true
didn't meet.
story.
Next wedding.
Is that a true
As
story?
the kids
is.
say, facts.
Yeah, facts.
So wait a second. So I want to drop a bomb. So first of all, just so we understand that she might actually be improving, Patrick, because what you just described was a cycle where you do a destination wedding to Abu Dhabi. You show up.
Yeah.
You're the dad. You're
Uh-huh.
dehydrated. You walk her down. You go through all this trouble. Then the next time you see her, she's driving away in a Uber, and she's like, "By the way, I'm no longer married."
Yeah.
So she's transitioned out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
To catching some feelings, getting totally shit-faced, blackout, throwing up red caviar, and then still hungover, doing a
my
podcast
podcast.
and spilling her guts on the podcast. So
When was this?
when
She
was
doesn't
that?
party very much.
Oh,
Yeah,
she,
I missed it.
She
No.
scared. She partied so hard that Russians got scared.
Wow.
Russians got scared. Yeah, that's the thing is I partied like I think I still can, and then I'm like, what? Obviously cannot. Yeah.
We've learned how to ignore all the would-be
Yeah, if you're
husbands.
red, they just
Like,
yeah.
there'll never be a dude good enough, and we have to just watch and pretend and shake hands and smile.
You know what? So, and you know what? Somebody's got to have the heart to be along for the ride.
Yeah.
Right,
And you always
there's-
hear, this time's different. Wait
Right.
till you
This
meet
one's
Tony. And
the
you're
best.
like, I don't give a fuck. It's all blurs and streaks at this point. You know what I mean?
Right. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm in love.
It's kind of like our kid, and we've been watching, everything assemble and disassemble around it.
Yeah, and can you see, like, with the guys, do they even know what's happening? Or what's happened to the guys? Are they held hostage?
No,
Are they...
they're
No,
always
they-
like cute. She's always in control of them. You know,
Right,
they're
They
always-
know. They know when they do it
Yeah.
anyway. They know. I tell them. I warn
They're
them.
like hot assistants that
Right.
carry our shit.
Yeah.
You know?
The bag man.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically like the
Yeah,
bag
yeah.
man.
Stop
You're like,
it.
you're going to make it at least an hour.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like the guy's like, listen, I know what's happening here, but it's worth it, so fuck it, here I go. Right?
And then it's like always in a food line somewhere where I'll get the nod from one of them, defeated. Just, yeah, I remember.
So this time I was listening to Millennial
Oh,
Tendencies.
okay. I'm scared.
There's a couple of things that were going
Well,
on, but the
what I
first
say.
one that I was really, first of all, the reason why I asked about annoyance and all this shit is because Rachel is fucking annoyed with everything. There's not a single fucking
My
thing.
only outlet. Also, I'm a comedian. Your brain changes.
Well,
when
this
you
is why
start
I'm
doing it.
asking you, Patrick, because
Yeah.
she's like, hi, and then I'm listening to her, and she's like, can COVID just shut the fuck up? I'm tired of listening to COVID. I'm tired of
So
C-19. I'm tired of masks. Do they work? Don't they work, right? You did about like 20 minutes of
Oh.
shtick on masks.
Oh, well, see, you said the word shtick, and I thank you for that because my co-host got so fucking butthurt. It was insane.
Does he make the masks?
No, you would think so. No, he literally like cut out. We had a fight. On
You had
air.
a fight with that guy?
And
By the way, my money's on you.
He turned
My
it-
money's
no,
on
he,
you.
He edited it out.
He edited what
That's
out?
the good
Yeah.
stuff.
No, he edited it out because at first it was like I'm gonna leave it in, and I sarcastically said, "Oh, because he thought I was gonna get canceled." Now I've said I'm not important
Wait.
enough to be canceled.
Right. Canceled from what?
I mean, what's gonna?
Are you on the Disney
I
Channel?
had no idea. I guess I am. And I'm like, and so I was just like, I don't wield that much power, dude. And he's like, he said I sounded ignorant, so that was fun. And then, and I was like, we had to talk after, and I was just like, you understand that we're doing this podcast because we're trying to get other people to react like you reacted and
Right.
comments.
Right.
Even if there's like, go die somewhere, Rachel. It doesn't
Right.
matter. It's still a comment, bitch.
Right.
And that's what I need.
Right.
Easy there,
And
cowboy.
then you edited it
cowboy.
out, the fight, because you thought I would get canceled. Or maybe my sister thinks it's because he listened to the playback thinking I would indeed sound ignorant. Realize because I spoke in the same condescending tone that I speak now. It's my accent. It's how I talk.
This is why I was asking you about hot chicks, Patrick, because I hear this. It doesn't offend me because it's part of it.
Well,
this is
Patrick
part
also
of,
knew me when I was younger, and everything was yay. I was the tits when I was young because I didn't have opinion on fucking anything.
Right.
And
Now
everything was
you're-
great and everything was yes. And if there was cocaine, it was a double yes. Like I was
Yeah.
super happy all the time.
That sounds fantastic.
Patrick,
to me.
remember when I had money, and I didn't have to have a job, and we used to just go sit at the
Yeah.
chateau.
We
and
were
like,
always on a
"Let's just
permanent
sit at-
vacation.
Permanent vacation. We were LA'd out, and I still don't even fucking like. We need to bring that shit back.
I
We
know.
need to,
I
like-
think yes.
I
We
did
need
to-
Chateau COVID. I did
We need to-
March through whatever,
Chateau
4 or 5
COVID.
months at the Chateau. It's like The
Where's
Shining.
my invite?
We'll get it going on.
whatever.
There's
Listen.
nothing there. It's like The Shining.
Is it?
Yeah, you park your own car. There's one security guard.
Ew, you have to park your own
Yeah.
car.
Was
It's
there
kinda
was
cool.
there a
It's like
naked
fucking
old lady in a
camping.
tub? Was there
no,
a naked old
there's
lady in a tub?
It's like a bunch of youth culture there right now. It's all the youngsters.
Youth culture.
Yeah.
Right.
It's YouTubers.
It's all the it kids. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
boy.
influencers or
Yeah.
whatever. Is it true? Little Zan was down there.
Influencers.
Everyone comes through.
Influencers there.
But is it really
Yeah.
the chateau anymore at this point? Like, is it the real experience? I mean, what
It's
was the
just
high point?
another generation. I don't know what the high point. I think I was too young for the high point,
Like
but
the
I think it was
60s,
probably
right?
the Belushi era.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
right.
It was the 70s.
It's had so many cycles.
I've read some great Hunter S. Thompson stories of him at the
Well, there you
chateau
go.
with
That's
Johnny
pretty much a
Depp
high
and just
point.
getting
Right,
crazy fucked up. All
It's
kinds
got
of
that
fucked up.
energy,
De
and these
Niro,
kids are still trying to do that. You know,
A lot of weird nights have
Yeah.
started at the chateau.
it's a good thing. It was a nice hang when this whole COVIDing, because they weren't doing that. They were just laying at the pool and
Right.
pretending the world still existed.
It did.
Every once in a while, there'd be a demonstration in front. They'd lock Sunset up, and then you'd look over the fence and be like, "What's going on?" You know, it's interesting.
That is interesting.
They had the end of one of the marches that came
The
to
chateau?
that. Yeah. It
And
was
did
right
you
in the
guys
driveway.
like support the march by sending out champagne? Or
I
how
went
did
out
you...
and filmed a bunch of the marches because it was fascinating.
Yeah. So what did you see?
I
Did you
saw
see them?
white chicks from Silver Lake yelling "Black Lives Matter" and throwing rocks, and I
Right
saw
on.
a lot of interesting things.
Right.
You know? I saw models doing opportunity shots. You know,
Right.
that kind of thing.
How does an opportunity shot look in front of a protest?
They bring a friend, they stage, and then they go back and they're like, "Get me sitting here." What they call virtue signaling.
Virtue
a lot of
signaling.
virtue signaling.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Speaking of virtue signaling, do you need Big Lep and Big Lux to have a talk with your co-host,
No.
Rachel? Because we can make that
What
happen.
happened with the co-host?
What?
Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Is it
We're
mask, no mask? What happened on the show?
He took everything I said out.
Wait a
What
second.
did you say?
I was trying to make a point that the virtue signaling is what's really annoying to me. The shutting down industry is really annoying to me because all the masks in the world aren't going to save us if nobody has a fucking roof over their head.
Yeah.
Because they can't work and they can't make money.
Right.
So at this point, we've all been exposed to it.
This is a super spreader
is-
podcast
I'm
right
so
now.
sorry.
Yeah, right. Happy Thanksgiving at the White House. Go.
I mean, if I'm going to die from something, I'm going to be the most talented one here, so it's fine. Not in this room, but I mean, I'm still doing what I want to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
hell
I just don't. I'm just again over it. And I tried to explain. I'm like, it's a fucking piece of cloth. It's cloth, just like your underwear, except you're wearing it on your fucking face. It is not going to save you. If you go and you wear this fucking thing, you are still probably have a chance of getting sick.
Rachel,
because it's
but-
not Kevlar, it's not bulletproof.
Listen, hold
you
on a second.
still might
Rachel,
make
let's
your-
just-
Explain to
Let- I
Sean
wanna-
what underwear is.
Hold on, hold
Can
on,
you
hold on,
explain to
hold-
Sean
She
what
used to
underwear
be
is?
this
Hold on, hold
nice
on.
democratic liberal beauty.
Rachel,
I've never been a liberal. How
listen,
dare you?
Rachel.
You're not
seriously,
allowed in Texas, right?
For science, have you ever worn your underwear on your face?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. I just needed to know that. All right. But I don't understand why your host. Does he have creative control?
He's no. I think he was going through something.
Was he in menopause?
I don't know. Well, he's very liberal.
But why can't you and he have a fight on air? I think that's probably the most
I think
interesting
he-
fucking thing.
I don't know. I maybe I should listen to the playback. I feel like I said exactly what I said. Also, I said it from. I don't think anyone would take it seriously, or they would probably just go, "I don't agree with that. She's an idiot," and then that would be that. It is what it is. It's like I'm not signing paperwork that makes it law. So why do you do you care?
Why
so
did
much?
he care so much?
I
Is he willing to come on the show and have us question him?
I don't think.
Why
don't we call him?
Yeah, can we
Yeah.
call him?
Please
What do you
don't.
call that?
no.
On Zoom.
I mean,
you call that Jumahan?
This
Yeah,
isn't the
I
guy-
wanna
It
come
starts with a D.
Yo, this isn't the guy that
No.
came over and
Deposition?
filmed, right? Is this the guy that came over and
No,
filmed? and all that?
Deposition from
Aaron.
this
Aaron
guy.
doesn't have an opinion about.
Is
that
he
stuff.
related to somebody powerful? Like, is it Pelosi's son?
No, I think he's just. Some people are just really sensitive. and
Maybe
he
he's
is-
just
he is-
jealous of you.
No,
he's
he's not jealous of
envious
me.
of you.
No,
You're
he's
getting
not.
all the men he's never getting. Isn't that what it is?
No,
Oh.
no, that's not it.
By the way, before
No,
you,
I think he just thinks that he thinks for some reason people listen to me. I think on some things they do. I think on don't date that fuckboy over there, and here's why. I think yes,
boy.
people listen to me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, I've openly said I don't know enough about politics to talk about it. I don't know enough about law to talk about it. I
well,
just
you
have
don't
my
let that stop you.
I just have exactly because I live in America and that's
Right.
what we do. We're allowed to talk out of our ass. I also do stand-up comedy, and that is kind of the prerequisite of talking out of my ass. Now, if you here's what you do: you just don't listen. If you
or you yell at the thing, or you leave a
but
comment.
also, the new truth is, no matter what I think, we still have to wear these fucking masks, so we wear them. But I'm just like, don't play yourself thinking that you're saving the world. You're doing it to be polite and because it's law, and it's a social norm that we have to get used to. It's better than not wearing anything, yes, but don't kid yourself. You can still go to your home, wear your mask, and still give it to your grandma. Because there are people doing everything right and still getting COVID.
Yeah, I think you're right in the sense that we're talking about probabilities. We're not talking about exact sciences, but we're talking about probabilities.
Yeah.
What are the chances? Are the chances reduced? Blah 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 blah. And I listened to what you said. You said things that made total sense to me. It's like, look, if I'm outside fucking running up the hill,
I'm not wearing the goddamn
I'm not
mask.
wearing a mask.
I'm not
If there's
wearing
no
a
one
mask.
around
I'm
me-
moving Target.
right, right.
I'm not going to come lick you in the eyeball. Don't worry.
Sean, did you hear that? She's not gonna lick your eyeball.
Sorry.
So give up the hope. Look at his
Sorry.
face.
He's so
Sean,
sad.
what's going through your head now, Sean?
Would you want my
mean,
cooties?
Do you want
my COVID?
Rachel's cooties? Don't lie, you fucker.
Would you want my COVID?
Don't
if
lie,
I had
you
it?
fucker. He's getting ready to lie. Look at his face. Look, that's what happens.
Would
He's
you have
like,
a problem with her saliva in your eye ducts?
do you
in
want
your,
her
your-
cooties? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
sure.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not
No,
gonna-
See, there it was. Yes, a yes.
He's getting mad now.
Okay, drink your bath water.
Look at his face. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever you guys want.
Bath water? Yes? No.
Ew.
Sure.
Sure, you see?
Would you
Guys are terrible.
wear her
No,
undergarments on your
nobody's
head?
wearing my
I
undergarments.
would definitely wear her under as a hat.
Or
As a hat.
as a face covering?
Oh,
A face
wow.
covering.
Face
Come
covering.
on. Don't be
For
weird, dude.
sure.
Come on.
As long
I'm
as it,
trying to wear some of his face
as long as
covering.
it smelled good, yeah.
Wow.
As long?
As long.
You doubt? How
Well,
dare you?
thank you.
With her, everything,
Well,
everything
don't-
smells
don't
like
fall for
caramel.
that. That's
with her.
how he gets hot
it-
chicks. He
Is
pretends
is that
like
is that his idea of negging?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's his shtick. That's he's worked that. I mean, he's already dude. I came in here, Steve, and he and Rachel were in like an intense private conversation when I walked in. Yeah,
What? Hey.
yeah, yeah.
Is that not allowed?
Steve?
Am I not allowed to talk to
hey,
him?
You can. I'm just impressed. Because I was out for like 5
Hey,
minutes and I
now,
came in
easy
and he
there,
was
cowboy.
like, listen, I am Rachel. I think you've got a very like, it's like 3D audio voice. It's impressive. What were you guys talking about, Sean? What was the nature of your guys'
We were literally just talking about what we just talked about.
which is what?
Her show.
I showed how we got in a fight. And
What did you
the fight
think?
got
What
cut
do you
out.
think about the fight? Like, Sean? Do you think that she?
I think it should have been left, personally.
I'm sorry. I'm talking to Sean.
Sorry.
Okay, Sean. what do you think, dude? Like, from what you've heard, do you think it should have been left in, or how would you have handled it as a sound engineer?
I wouldn't have edited out if she didn't tell me to. As her sound engineer, I wouldn't have. touched
I
the
did
audio.
say do what you feel is best because I was so agitated.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
then I probably would've.
mistake.
But then he said, I'm going to leave it in. But he said it like, "Nah, nah, nah." I'm like, fine, leave it in. And I said, went throughout the thing, I have said, because toward the end we did get to the point that I said it's just not bulletproof. He goes, yeah, of course, Mike. Well, I would have said that if you didn't get verklempt halfway through.
Right.
I need a paper bag. He goes, I did not need a paper bag. I said, you needed a paper bag and a juice box. Yes, you did, sir.
Right.
And a
Yeah.
juice box.
And a juice box.
Yeah, see, I didn't talk to ever like this when I was young, huh? No.
No.
I was sweet as can be. Kind of dumb, but fun.
I don't think you're a dumb.
I don't
So-
think you're
no,
dumb.
I think so.
I've
She
never
always had an
ever.
awareness.
Oh
of
Yeah,
my
what's
God.
going
When
on.
I was 26, I was, yay!
Yeah.
It was
get
yay!
The front
Come
or
get your
lobe wasn't
cookie and your
open.
juice
no.
box, huh?
Well, no, I wasn't dumb. I was,
Go
just,
home and
I was
get-
just really happy
Go home and
naive.
get your
I
fucking
was just,
shine box,
That's different.
I was
motherfucker.
just naive. That's what it was.
Listen, so the other thing I wanted to bring up, besides the fight with this guy that is obviously needs some management help, like we need to sit him down. I've got some friends, and I think we need to have a sit down with this
No.
guy. Listen, nothing's
Think?
gonna happen. We're gonna have a good conversation. He's
Leave
gonna
him
understand.
alone.
No. Listen, next time Rachel says do what you want, it means do what Rachel wants.
Let me ask you something, Patrick. When you were talking about Rachel showing up, prepared and
Yes.
and you can't teach people to get inspired and to get motivated and to be inspired with what they do, and I want to know, like, these days, I know you're working on some projects, and is it difficult to find people to show up like that these days?
It
Is that-
isn't. It isn't. It's mixed. It's 50-50, It's right down the middle. Some are don't know what it takes, and some do. So, like, I've been finding both. And the older I get, the less you get patient with anyone that's sort of there or sort of working. Just because you don't have time anymore,
Right.
Time becomes precious,
Right.
Especially with our project. It's like, it's hard, man. I'm doing what would be a project that would have 40 people alone,
Right.
literally alone.
Right.
And, it has those, you can't really deal with somebody not knowing a sentence, you know?
Right.
Like, that's just too much. It's a bridge too far,
Right.
you know?
Speaking of a bridge too far, the other thing I wanted to drop that I learned I did not know is that, and it's already out in the public, so you can't get mad at me, Rachel.
Okay, what'd
She
I
has
do?
fibromyalgia.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've known that for a
Did
long
you know
time.
that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Steve, did you know that?
No, what is that?
I don't know. I thought it was cereal first.
No.
Fibromyalgia?
I have a mild. I basically have chronic pain all the time.
Is that
What?
true?
Things hurt right now, but I've had it for so long that you just.
You
It's
live
also
with
the
it.
joys of being older. Shit just hurts.
Wait a minute.
So,
I think I might have that too. And I just been living through it. I'm not kidding.
Do you feel like you have arthritis? throughout your
I always
entire
hurt.
body?
All the time hurts. All the time. I just don't talk about it. Don't
Oh,
complain
you
about it.
might. You might. There's a.
But you have it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
man.
but you. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no cure for it. There's no reason for it. It's just
Oh, there's a cure for it.
no.
What's it called,
It's called
Steve?
death.
Called a 6'2" Italian man.
Wow.
Vessels all over. Little kisses everywhere. Make it all better.
Yeah, but
no,
it
but
makes
no,
your
there
skin
isn't a
hurt,
cure
so
for
no,
it.
It's
No.
like the last thing you need is,
No.
is to be, like your air hurts.
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
you're suffering from fibromyalgia and you've got like a 6-foot
That's the
dude
last
trying to
thing you're
crush
gonna
you,
do.
does it
Don't touch
hurt?
me.
It's gonna
Now
hurt
wait,
you.
do you live with it?
It's
Is
all
it
bad.
never goes away?
Never goes away.
And
When were you diagnosed?
Yeah.
I was having. Well, I had a tumor, so everything was. I just kind of like went in. I'm like, these are all my problems, and then I got all the diagnosis and everything. There's medication I can.
How old were you when you were like, you know what? I've been carrying around this fucking ball of pain forever.
It was probably 6 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And so before
And how,
that,
yeah,
See,
how
before-
long?
But his thing is before that, it's really hard to gauge because before that I was really active. I also had a tumor, so I was tired all the time. It was a brain fog all the time. I was in pain all the time.
so
Also,
maybe when
just
you were
get-
younger, it wasn't that you were quote unquote dumb. You were suffering from fibromyalgia. You had brain
No,
fog.
I don't think I had it really. I don't think I noticed it when I was younger. I definitely just started noticing it. It's like a stress. I honestly think it's stress. I think it's.
What's the
it's
stress you're
trauma.
under?
It's trauma. It's like a lot of. There's no. They can't. No one knows why you get it. You just get it.
What
It
the
al- I also
fuck?
used to do a lot of drugs when I was younger. I'm sure that didn't help.
you didn't probably feel the pain. What number pain out of 1 to 10 are you today?
Oh, low.
Low. 2?
3,
Yeah.
2.
Patrick, do you have any chronic
No,
situations?
and you know what's weird is I just did this. I was really worried because I decided to not go to a doctor for 20 years. So I
Right.
decided in March to start going through all the scans and tests, and I just got through all that stuff. And I'm okay, which was surprising. I always think, oh no, this is like,
I'm gonna find out
Yeah,
that I've
they're
got
gonna find
colorectal
something.
cancer.
Right.
no weird shit. Like I did, this is really raw, but I went and did the testicle urology thing, and they
What
do
is that?
Well, they do an ultrasound on your ball sack.
But that's not the one
Do
where
they
they
put-
stick the rod through there, is it?
A rod.
Did they put like a jelly on it?
Yeah,
and put
yeah,
the,
the
little thing?
whole fantasia, and they got a girl that has no emotion and no face. Like she's looking at a monitor, kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And
wait.
it's really scary.
Yeah.
And they keep going. And then all of a sudden they start doing it up your stomach. So you're like, okay, it's testicular cancer and it's spread up the stomach because she shouldn't be going up the stomach. hole.
Right.
And then she goes, okay, I'm going to send the doctor to talk to you. Real, sad.
Right.
And then the doctor looks at everything and he's like,
He's huffing and puffing.
oh, okay, I'm going to take you over here. Then you go to the big room where there's carpet and pictures of celebrities and you meet the main guy and he's like, how you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Tell me.
Can someone tell
Yeah,
me?
he's like, you're great. You're great. Everything's
Your
good.
balls
I
are
was like, Why do you
fantastic.
guys do this 3 level of suspense?
I have
It's
a
when you-
question.
You know what I
Were
mean?
your balls by the end like so tucked up in you
Oh,
because you
there
were
is
terrified?
nothing. Yeah,
Did
they-
you have to can someone suction them out, please, with something because they're just
Yeah, yeah. No,
shoved
it's-
up there now? 'cause I'm
There
ter-
is nothing, honorable about what that looks like
Each
when
room, they
there's
just crept up
nurses
an
and
inch.
doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy can barely breathe.
I did get a
They look
funny
like
moment
two-
where the doctor goes, da-da-da, he brought these 2 nurses and all this stuff. He goes, yeah, there's 2 nurses. I go, that wasn't the best performance of my life because it was, my business was probably the size of
Well, I'm
nothing.
sure that you
Right. It looked
Yeah,
like it looked
and,
like 2 octopuses like crammed up in
Yeah.
2 caves.
And then right when you're really uncomfortable, he leaves the room and he goes, hey, nice dick, and shuts the door.
what?
Did he say that?
Yeah, and I was like,
What?
wow, that was weird.
Was that all on? Like what? What's you being punked?
No, it was
Were you
at
being
Cedars.
punked?
It was at Cedar Sinai.
Is that part of their
No.
bedside
Yeah,
care?
this guy's like the master urologist. He's kind of a renowned guy. He was really nice, but it was a scary shit. But I've done all the medical stuff with the downtime of COVID. I've kind of done all the stuff.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
he was just like, "Hey, I've seen a lot of dicks, and
No,
but
he
yours
didn't do
is
any
pretty
of
good."
that. He said I brought 2 nurses instead of 1. Are you happy? I said, well, no, because my
How
dick's
bizarre. and
not
Nice
even
dick.
visible right now.
And so did the guy like was he
I don't think so.
Nothing
I think he was
happened.
just being sarcastic.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked like
He was just having fun.
Yeah, by his fame wall, I went in his office. He had a fame wall of everyone, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, he's kind of the man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Patrick,
Yeah.
you got hashtag me too.
Yeah, I got me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, man.
At
Like
Cedars.
it's you know what? It's cool to have a sense of humor, but not when you're talking about my balls and dick,
Yeah.
bro. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying,
yeah,
I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna live or die.
Totally.
And you're sitting here doing fucking, soft shoe Lightroom jokes. I don't
Nice
need
dick.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice dick. Oh.
Oh,
But yeah, I've been doing the
Nice
whole
dick.
medical tour, which is like, I don't know how to keep doing this though, because it never ends. You're like, you
Right.
can come back in a week, in a month. And I was like, dude, I've been seeing every doctor in the universe. So.
You were doing fine, not seeing anybody for 20 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. I just wanted to see what was going on under
Did
the
you have to
hood.
shave
Yeah.
the jewels
Yeah.
before
No,
you went in?
none of that stuff.
So their fucking sonic beams go through the hair.
wow.
They do everything. Yeah.
Is that too much for you?
He's just stuck in the urologist. We went to every scan, every artery, every organ, every
Did
orifice.
you have
Wow.
to? Did you have to go up the colon
Everything we do.
with the camera? Did you look
All
inside?
of the things.
And was it all pink and healthy inside, or did you see
Everything's
like
healthy. And
crayons
now we're on
wedged
to
in
the
there?
dentist, which is like, I didn't go there for
another world,
240 years.
Right.
And the lady goes, what's your goal? I'm like, to stop being a caveman.
right?
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Very wow.
It's
Okay,
going to be
that's-
exciting. That'll take like how many years? Like 3 years to do
Dude, they
the
can
dentist.
invent-
They're like, we're going to clean 3 teeth today. You're like,
Patrick,
okay. I'll
Patrick
see you
is
next
just
week.
like the fucking fuck it. I'm doing it my way. So for this guy to be like, you know what? Now I'm gonna go see what's happening and take care. That's a
Very scary.
change, big change.
Well, did something actually happen where like you got lightheaded in the shower? or
None
something?
of it. I've been doing I've been in the best shape I've ever been in. I've been doing the push-ups, the sit-ups, 8-mile walks
Right.
on big days. Most days, every day, at least 3 to 4. I'm on a just it's time to get back in shape,
Right.
like I've never been,
Right.
and enjoy like what's going on. So I've kind of
I
taken
like
the
the conviction
downtime
you
as
said that with.
the opposite of like a lot of my friends are watching the television,
Right.
they're eating Doritos, and they're
Hey.
like, freaked out. So I'm kind of going opposite day.
Right.
They've inspired me unintentionally to go on some other journey.
Yeah.
Now is the time to take advantage of the way shit is to do things you probably could never do before.
Yeah, like get some sun, go for a walk,
Right.
physical contact, talk to people.
Right.
I
like,
feel personally
speak,
attacked.
like,
Oh, come on.
Are you watching
now.
TV? Are you
She's
watching
got
TV?
little Doritos
What are
underneath
you-
the pillow.
Yeah, what are you watching? What's your show?
Everything.
Okay, what's
She's
your
stuck
show?
in the bed.
I just finished watching Dr. Forrester.
And what's Dr. Forrest? I've
It
never.
makes y'all watch The Affair? Remember that one?
I do remember that one.
So
I
it
didn't
was
watch
like,
it.
don't watch with your significant other. I watched it with my significant other. We would watch it like Child's Play. You would never be so amateur. Never. That's what you got. So we didn't even care about it. This show gave me anxiety. Dr. Forrester.
Why?
It's a BBC show, and it is about cheating. And I would like the first episode. I was like ready to cut off my cat's balls because he had them. I was like, men suck, and I was really upset. And I was telling everyone, like, girl, you gotta watch this show. And I'm like, you hate everybody.
You gotta watch the show. It's so great. It'll make you hate men.
Everybody.
You'll get back to that old-fashioned male hating that you always
I'm
knew.
trying.
Do-
Well, it's cuffing season. We have to figure out. We have to do what we can to resist.
Right. Mr. Hollick, do you got a show right now? I know you're working out
I've
doing
been
all.
enjoying the Reagans on Showtime, which
Right.
is like it's very mean and very scathing, but very interesting. It's I don't know how many parts it's going to be. I'm on episode. There's only 2 up. I think there'll be 5.
Right. That's interesting.
Starts at the beginning. I also watched The Queen's Gambit. I watched The Crown. I watched
Yeah.
The Undoing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The Undoing with Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all caught up on all that stuff.
What about Raised by Wolves? Did you watch that?
Didn't watch it.
That was good.
How good is
I
that?
watched
was
it,
good.
yeah.
Did you watch that? At first, I was like, I don't know where we're going with
It
it.
had in and outs. It had.
But
it was
then,
in and out.
but then at some point, so that was really good. Steve, what are you on? You got anything that you're watching? By the way, any predictions for this Tyson fucking Roy Jones?
I did
Yeah,
this
Roy
in
Jones.
my local market up on the Beverly Glen. Shout out to the Beverly Glen Market. And they were all thinking that Tyson's going to win this.
Yeah.
They're like, I'd bet my house. Like all these guys, there's like 4 guys in the lane. Like we all gather at weird times. I was getting a pack of cigarettes. Somebody was getting something. It's like the weirdest vibe up there on the Glen at like 11:40 at night.
Do you have a position on this? Because they both look kind of old. They both look like they're in good shape, but there's some
Yeah.
extra meat hanging out both dudes.
Okay,
I
wait,
think
wait.
physically it's going to be if Mike doesn't have some sort of mental lapse, he'll kick his ass.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, so this is an exhibition fight.
It was, and now
Well,
they're
that's the
saying
really?
that Mike is like, I want to kill
Right,
him.
and remember too, they have to use the word exhibition because it's not under the
Yeah.
WBO, WBC, IBO. It's,
Right.
Because it's not one of those sanctioned. The first thing they're going to call it is an exhibition.
So I pulled up the rules. It says the fight is at heavyweight, no weight limit, 8 2-minute rounds.
8 2-minute rounds.
Right.
Crazy the way they have it set up. What's Roy's weight going in?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. in a
12
second.
ounce
When is
gloves.
it?
Because Roy Jones was fighting
Listen,
at 165, 170 as a professional.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was fighting at 205 as a professional.
And 215.
And 215 and 195. when he's
Tyson, how old is Tyson right now?
He's, I believe he's 50.
54. He is 54.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Jones is 51.
Okay.
So that's what you got. You got 2 guys who are over 50, and it looks like
I'm going to have to go with Mike.
I'm
going with Mike
Just
too.
on pure violence.
Just watching.
Roy was like a
violence.
ballerina and had a nice snap,
Yeah.
and he was a point getter, like
Right.
a Mayweather.
Yeah,
just
right,
kind of
right,
dance
right,
it, dance it.
right.
Points,
Roy-
points.
He wasn't as bad, but there are aspects to him.
Yeah,
where
there
he
was a little
that.
show business.
Yes,
I mean, he's a
absolutely.
badass. He's a great fighter. But then there was like Mike Tyson doing that peripheral thing where he'd be facing you and he would sidestep you and be hitting you from the other side. And you're like, what is that?
Like Mike Tyson had to take down giant men, giant dudes to get
Next
where he was
level.
at. Roy Jones did not.
No, it was kind of like the later. I don't know. I think that was the problem with boxing is like everyone went UFC because they wanted to see some
See more
violence
Knocks
shit.
up,
Yeah,
knock out.
dog. Yeah.
and the politics.
Roy
That did-
And the
Jones-
politics.
Roy Jones weighed in at 210 pounds.
That's crazy. This guy fought at 165, 170,
Damn.
which means he walks around at 190. But somehow here we are right now, and he weighed in at what?
210.
Well, that's fucked up
What's
because
Mike
so
coming
either
in
he's
at?
Mike's coming in at 220.4.
I heard he's in good shape. Is he?
Yeah, but it's like old man shape,
Right.
right?
It's good,
I mean,
good shape for an old man, right?
right. And I'm watching him right now. He's taking off his sweats, and he's first of all, Mike is ballooned up and ballooned down from his
Sure,
weight,
yeah,
right? He's bounced all around, and he looks like he's been in the best shape I've ever seen. He looks stocky. His legs. He's taking off his pants. He's got white socks on. That's weird. But
Taking off his underwear right now.
he's putting
Hey.
his underwear on his face. What?
I've been watching some video of him training, and he looks. I mean, his power is.
Is
But-
still there?
He's got a
Yeah.
little bit of a stomach. I can't talk shit because I got one too, but he's got a little bit of a stomach. But I will, and a little love handle. You know, like a slight muffin top, like a slight on the edge. But he looks fucking strong.
I wouldn't fight him.
No,
Strong
I
as
don't
an
think
ox.
he'll understand the word exhibition. I think he's just gonna go pure violence.
Right.
Think so?
Right,
Yeah.
right. He's taking his thing.
I don't
to a
think he
whole
could.
nother level.
I don't think he could gauge it back.
This
You heard him
is-
on
yeah.
Rogan, right, where he said he just wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
It wasn't subtle.
And you know what? I'm going to say something else. I've heard some other recent interviews with him, and I've never heard him sound so mentally centered
Right.
as he sounds now.
He's been
Yeah, he
doing
got over
really
some
well for the last 10 years with his
Right,
life. You know?
right.
Yeah.
And I guess, listen, there's a lot of cachet with the Tyson name. People want to see him fight. Is he going to win? Is he going to lose? You don't have that type of level of fame and also tension built into a name like you do Tyson.
No.
That makes all the sense in the world. I almost bet, okay, let's stop fucking around. I almost bet that you could just cycle through a bunch of old fighters against Tyson in the next 10 years and say, it's going to be 20 fights. Tyson's going to fight 20 people in the next 10 years, right? We don't know who's going to win or who's going to lose. They're all going to be, right, names that you kind of have heard of in the fight game. I guarantee you he will make a mint. A mint.
Well, this fight, he's making a serious amount of money, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
I think
making
the numbers
millions.
ridiculous.
Right. But that's because who else has that draw? Who else in the boxing game?
Floyd.
Maybe, right? And
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather, if anyone's excited, I mean, I don't know if people are excited about it, but they hate him. A lot of people hate him
I
because
really like him.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate him because, he does a different type of battle than what people want to see.
Completely.
Right? Which is fine. That's a legit strategy. And fuck you, he's making money. But other than Mayweather, and I don't know that people would watch an old Mayweather fight a bunch of people. Who else has a cachet name like Tyson and is brilliant or is not brilliant as you think he's been? He's through movies, television.
Yeah, he's a world brand. you know?
He has kept that name alive.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well,
to
he's
me.
one of the most entertaining people in culture. Like, he was fun to just come in and end it in one round again and again and again.
Right, and you could talk
There's
to
a
him,
lot to it.
and you
No what is it? No socks, just the shoes.
could right.
They didn't even have the. Remember, they didn't have the bag or anything to help him when he got his eyes swollen. They didn't have the gear,
Right.
'cause they've never needed it.
Right.
They were using a glove with water in it as a compressor.
And what's even more fascinating is because there's other elements about Tyson that make him fantastic. Number one, it's the voice, right? That voice sounds slightly effeminate. No one would ever say that necessarily to him because they might get there. But obviously, and he's got a little bit of a lisp, and it's so...
And he wasn't huge. I stood next to him. He's like 5'8".
That's right.
Yeah, I met the man.
That's
the man,
right.
The myth. Rachel looks so excited about this. This is like
I'm fine.
like us watching Sex in the City.
Right.
I don't like
blow my
Sex-
brains out.
I don't like you. I don't like sex.
Wait. You don't like Sex in the City?
No, I hate it.
Why?
That's why
Because
she's
it's sexist.
badass.
Wait, why? Because lot of...
Because it paints a hideous example that there are women in this country in the world that look at the stuff, the material aspects of that show, which are attractive to a lot of women.
Amen.
And they view the behavior that these women, they glorify it. So it sets a hideous example for what being established made it that the material possessions and this hideous attitude should go together, and it's awful.
What about The Bachelor?
He's a cunt.
I really like the way that was
Bachelor.
put together.
Oh, I
the way
hate
she
that
said
show.
Yeah, no, it's
I
like
wanna
the
do an
same thing on
opposite show.
steroids.
I want to do an opposite show. I want to do like a, Elvira-esque version of The Bachelor, where I just bag on these twats because it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
It is.
I'm like, let's get this idiot. There's a reason he's single, usually always. And then let's put some desperate hoes that just want to be on TV.
Beyond.
And let's watch them cry. Let's watch them cry because I didn't get my chance at herpes.
And don't they get? I think they get
Thank
$1
you.
million.
Thank you.
I like it. I like it. I
Love
like
you
it.
all week. Try the veal.
I think they get $1 million a year to stay together once they do the fake marriage thing too.
I can't do that.
And some of them just can't.
It's not worth
can't
it.
Keep the
It's
$1
not worth it to
million.
Rachel. You better come with more than $1 million
Shit.
bucks.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, no, it's
Come
like
on,
the
Rachel.
most.
I need to give you 10 mil a year to keep you cool.
It's like the most awful representation
It's
of
awful.
the world. These
Yeah.
shows.
It's awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
It's amazing to have these huge
Disgusting.
ratings. It just shows you what we're dealing
Where,
with.
yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I have friends that I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore this quality that you, because they love it. They love it. They throw parties.
Yeah.
They give each other roses.
Uh-huh.
They're like, it's so romantic. I'm like, what is romantic about this? There's
Right.
nothing. He's literally like, okay, so I'm gonna try to fuck all y'all.
And the dude
then
always
you
has
guys-
like
then you
4
guys-
brain cells. He's like,
I'm like, there's a reason he has to have so much money. Something's wrong with him. He's
they're always
defective.
car accidents.
Right. This is
And
fascinating.
you know I love men with money.
You're right.
You know I do.
I know you do, but I also know that you've got some other thing going inside it. There's like this part of Rachel that's the comedian, right? That's like, I want to not give a flying fuck about what you think about me, and I need to tell the truth. I need to tell my truth, right? I need to tell the truth, my truth, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And you've had that under wraps, thinking that if you played the game with these fuck faces, that somehow they would
Oh,
allow
I will
you.
tell a man to his face that, like, oh, you just like my money. Yes.
Right.
I have no problems with it now. I used to. Now I don't care.
What are you looking
You know
for
what's
now?
cool
I got-
about Rach? The
I-
cell
just-
phone has every person's phone number that ever walked the earth. You could get a president out of that phone. You could get any world leader. Like I already asked her off air for somebody that I don't have their information, and she's already got me in a text chain going on.
Right. I had to send a
I'm
gift.
talking like
Barack Obama. She
it's
gave me
not
Barack
subtle.
Obama's number.
It's not subtle. It's
Right.
like it's not one dimensional.
She had
like
to
she
block-
doesn't have one crew. It's the world.
Listen, this is true
Is
story.
Chappelle allowed in the studio yet, or not yet?
Who's Chappelle?
He's this guy. That
No.
We gotta fix that. We gotta
Listen, I got a lot of clients that come through here. But she blocked Netanyahu. She had to block him
yeah?
because he wouldn't stop calling her.
Who?
You.
Who did block?
Netanyahu.
Who's that?
Exactly. See that? That's part of her shtick. Now she's pretending she doesn't know who he is.
Who is that?
She's pretending she doesn't know who he is. You hear that, Netanyahu? Stop harassing Kitty Sterling. Now
Wait.
she doesn't pretends like she doesn't even know who you are.
Is this someone from Facebook? The person that was calling me? What, are you kidding? All right, I'm so confused. Sorry.
What?
What did he say?
What did I say? What did you say?
I'm so confused. No, there were people that were calling me up from Facebook because I had to unlock my messenger to talk to the lady I bought my fucking cat from because that's how she communicated. And it just, like, people were so bold as to there's a calling feature. I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you fucking calling me?
Right,
I
Netanyahu.
don't know you.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
It was so bizarre. And I'm like, please go.
Benjamin
Please don't do this.
He was the Israeli politician who was the Israeli prime minister,
Oh.
Netanyahu, and he was hounding you,
Oh.
if I recall correctly.
Oh, was he?
He was listening to our show,
Oh.
and now you're pretending not to know who he is
Oh.
to punish him. Isn't that right?
Yes. 100%.
Is it true, though, that you've actually had to tell Carrot Top to stop contacting you?
Yes. Actually, I think it's the other way around. His people said, please stop calling.
Let me ask you a question. Who is your favorite comedian?
Ooh, I hate that question.
Fucking answer it. Don't give me shit.
Like alive or dead?
It doesn't matter. Just tell me, like, in your mind, who do you think is one of the great comedians for you?
For me, I've always liked Robin Williams.
Right.
Will always make me laugh no matter what. As far as inspiring me to think and like, wow, that's just obviously Carlin. I mean, who doesn't like Carlin?
yeah.
Just because he mastered. Sometimes it's not even what he's saying; it's the cadence in the voice and the sarcastic way that he says it.
Right.
Is just so brilliant. Like, I took a course, like a workshop thing, and they said, you should be averaging 7 laughs a minute.
That's
And
what they said?
Yeah, and I was like, I've never even thought of, because there's an algorithm that you can, mathematical way you can look at your show and your laughs.
Yeah.
And there's different types of laughs that you're going to get: emotional response, a cerebral story. No, it's a thing. I know. I was like, fuck, it just got that much harder. But we watched Margaret Cho. She's averaging 7 to 9 laughs per minute.
I like Margaret Cho up to a point, but I don't think she's that great. I really
7
don't.
laughs per minute, though.
I don't give a fuck if she's getting 7 queefs per minute. I don't give a
That's
shit.
hard. That's an issue.
I know, but what I'm saying is that, you know what? Sometimes I think this algorithms and all this bullshit is kind of like. Can I finish?
Let
me finish.
Though. It's consistent
Let
with
me
people
finish.
that have made it.
I don't give a shit. Algorithms are not the end all be all for human productivity.
No, but
Yes or no?
Human beings respond to certain things. So what they're taking is something that already is happening.
Don't give a shit.
The algorithm doesn't affect it's not like an app where it judges if it's good or not. It's already there. It's already good. It's just calculating
right, but what I'm saying is listen to me. Listen to me. I'm saying that it's important for tools up to a point.
Right.
Certainly what's working and what's not working is something to think about.
Right.
Seinfeld obviously studied, right? Seinfeld obviously studied comedy, right? Carlin obviously studied his heroes. But what I am also saying is that algorithms and this constancy and the focus on that is an attempt that before you listen to
I
can
used the
see
wrong
you.
word.
I
I should never have used that word. If
Which
I
word?
didn't use the algorithm. 'Cause
Wait,
that's
no.
what you're hung up
vegan.
on.
No, I'm not hung up on that. I'm actually hung up on
Try that.
on seminars and classes for every fucking thing. I'm saying this. There is a processing that's going on in this
Right.
country for all the talents right now. People think that you can somehow process and
No.
create a very stable product that's related to art. And you know what? Dave Chappelle's last shtick, right? Let me tell you something. Listen to this. Dave Chappelle's last shtick was not a comedy show.
No.
Dave Chappelle's thing was part political. And I think when people spend too much time
Sure, it's
getting you to
circumstance.
think about it, getting you to think about stabilizing, reproducing, algorithms, all that stuff, it takes some of the creative aspect out.
It's-
That's all I'm saying.
It just depends what type of a person you are and what kind of a learner you are. I think.
What kind of a learner are you?
I'm food for thought. I like anything that's food for thought. You know what I mean? Like I still look at a blank page and it stares back at me all the time.
Right.
So I can take all the writing classes in the world. It just is what it is. But there were definitely people in that class that I questioned why they were doing stand-up at all, because they just weren't understanding anything.
Sure.
Which just goes down to, for me, the whole thing whether you, so a lot of people do stand up, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't even know why it's funny. They're just being funny. So they don't know a rule of three. They're just accidentally doing it, and that's fine. Or they don't understand a shared circumstance story.
Right.
They're just stumbling upon it, and that's just because they're just natural storytellers.
Right.
And that is fine as well. There were people in this class that are like, okay, so just for an exercise, we're going to do this, and we're not going to do potty humor. We're not going to do literal potty humor, there's two girls. They could not understand the concept of the sentence that was being told to them. And I'm just questioning. I was just like, wow, okay. So you want to be a stand-up, but you don't listen. You don't read the room. And if you're going to, there are certain places where potty humor is great. It's great. It's amazing. It's called a bar show, or if there's only one Lisa Lampanelli. You know what I mean? You can't be raunchy all the time, and that's and not saying that there's not a place for it, but this particular class, that was just the exercise that we were doing. That's it. You don't ever have to do it again. It's just for this couple hours.
Yeah.
And they couldn't grasp it, and it was like blah 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 shit, blah 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 my pussy. Blah, 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 my period, my yeast infection. I'm like, ugh, God, nobody wants to I don't want to fucking hear about it. But I was just like, that's not the class we're taking. Part of being a storyteller, Patrick, right? You have to read the room, you have to listen. And there's, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do the task at hand because that's the class, that's the task, that's what we're doing today.
Right.
And then when you do your thing, you can do whatever you want. But today, like if I were on a network show or CNN, no, there's a lot of my personality that I would 100% have to edit back because that's the gig. So
right. If you don't want to do that, then you wouldn't do the gig.
Yeah, but
right.
I think.
But if you take the job, then you're doing some of the formula shit that they want.
Yeah, I think it's why not be versatile? Patrick and I can. Patrick has shot naked bodies. I have been one of those naked bodies. But isn't it great that we can do commercial shit as well?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you have to be versatile. So if you're just
well, hold on
going
a second.
one way,
Hold on a
that's
second.
problem.
Hold on a second. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm adding on to what you're
Yeah.
saying, which is to say this. There is a place for versatility, right? And then there's also a place for somebody who just knows this is what I do, and I'm the
right,
best.
But this girl didn't. She was just.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about
oh,
this
yeah.
lady.
okay.
Forget this lady.
Okay,
All right,
forget
whatever.
her.
She's taking a class and she can't understand it.
Oh,
I'm not
God, it's
listening to
rough.
that. But what I am saying is that what I'm trying to get across is, and I'm not even just saying it for comedy necessarily for the arts, but what I am saying is that in the last whatever it's been 15, 20 years, I feel like just from listen, who am I? I'm just a fucking schmuck, okay? But from my observations, I have found that there has been an over trust and reliance on algorithms. And this goes everything from examining a room's laughter to President Barack Obama, even a beloved president, saying, don't worry, we've got algorithms that are sweeping conversations, but we're not really listening. And it's, to me, the algorithms are not perfect and they're not intended. And if you talk to any of the algorithm people that actually write them, they'll say, it's like an asymptote. It goes, you can write more and more effective ones, but there's never going to be perfect. And I feel like people of late, especially, have been relying on the algorithms to normalize or get themselves out of being like a poor performer into like an average performer. You're never going to necessarily find your vein of gold that's going to take you beyond into some other place, like maybe a Dave Chappelle, where he's able to communicate with the community at a completely different place. That even required him to go fucking crazy and move to Africa for like a couple years. Yeah. Right? Because he didn't want to necessarily become part of that formula that you're talking about.
It's not going to work for everyone, no.
Right.
No, but
Patrick, do you have thoughts on that? I see.
I think it's fascinating. Like I don't know who the comic was, but they said that like you could do the same show twice in a row and have the ultimate success one night, and
Yeah.
the next night it completely
It
bombs,
bombs.
and not one beat is different
Yeah.
in the
Right.
show. So that's
True.
fascinating.
Right.
Are you saying that there's a modern approach to trying to have some sort of data to elevate? Is that what you mean?
What I mean, no, actually,
I was talking about your connection with it. That's what he was trying to get us to do, is to connect with what you were saying in a way, and then you will, if you're connecting with it, you will eventually notice, because you're excited about it. It's contagious. Kind of like if you're on stage and you laugh at your own. That's a little trick you can do. Laugh at your own joke. It almost always makes the
Listen,
audience
let me
laugh.
tell you something.
Almost always.
let me tell you something. Being passionate about what you're doing for real, not because it's something that somebody told you is going to work,
Yeah.
right? And then you try to mimic that. I guess, Patrick, what I am going towards is the difference between mimicry or, and actual, it's organic and authentically a part of what you're doing.
I think the authentic will always win that battle.
Right. And
Yeah.
I feel like algorithms actually, too much reliance on data and examining and analyzing. This is nothing new. It's the same shit they said in ancient Greece, which is if you think about it too much, you're going to fuck it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, of course.
All right. So my point is, but if you are genuinely excited about what it is that you're saying and you care, then yes,
Yeah.
that will translate and it can be contagious. And I think we've had the last 10 years has been a numbing of society to an extent we've never seen before. Ever. To the point where everyone thinks it's gourmet to put bacon on some kind of food. Like, that's the excitement. That is not, I'm not dissing bacon necessarily, although I'm vegan, so I don't believe in harming animals. But what I am saying, right, is that the idea of an even more elevated pleasure zone, an elevated sense of understanding, an even more elevated sense. I believe that we have lost those tools, and we've lost those tools mostly because society has tried to go into this average, normal, or even B+ level of
Right.
existence. Not A, B+.
I feel
Go ahead.
that people just don't want. They want a painless life.
That's what that is. I
They
agree
want
with
a
you.
Painless
I
life.
I
agree
agree
with
with
that,
that.
Nothing can be ugly. Nothing can hurt. Nothing. No one's allowed to have an opinion that's different. If it's different, it's wrong. If it's not, and also, like you were saying with the virtue signaling,
Right.
there are people that literally are like, well, I feel this way, but I can't say it because it's an unpopular thought. And there's certain things that maybe you should keep to yourself, but racist things maybe keep to yourself. But
They tried. They
but-
tried to
but
keep it to
also-
themselves, and then when the door opened up a little bit, they got crazy.
yeah, but there's also
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I hear what you're saying, Rachel, and I agree with it up to a point. But I'm going to say this whole business about virtue signaling, who isn't virtue signaling? It's all bullshit. And I'm going to tell you, no.
It's
Listen.
rewarded.
There is virtue signaling if you're a Trump fan. There's virtue signaling if you're not a Trump fan. There's virtue signaling if you're an introvert. There's virtue signaling if you're trying to work in Hollywood. There's a virtue signaling if you're trying to get back to the chateau.
When virtue signaling and cancel culture meet, then you have a society that isn't that.
That's always been. That's always been.
entertainers- No,
It has always been. Listen, what is more cancel culture than black people can't be on television? That was like all the way up until X amount of time. What is cancel culture than saying, like, yeah, American Indians, we're going to push you all off onto this reservation?
Oh, there was something I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead.
So I didn't post it because I actually just forgot.
Yeah.
But with all the I feel like I can say this. I can't. I was gonna say it on
Say
my
it.
podcast.
Do
I can't
it.
because
I'm not-
I feel like
listen.
it'll start a thing.
This sound engineer hates my guts. He'll never edit anything out. So go ahead.
So, just to pose the question, all the white people with your Black Lives Matter that
Go
you
ahead.
crammed down my throat
Go ahead.
as if it was something new to me,
Right.
you all posted your fucking Thanksgiving bullshit.
Yes.
So if you're sitting there saying that it's wrong to oppress a certain culture
Yes.
and people, but then you celebrate the genocide of another, go fuck yourselves, kind of. Just a little. Just
Yeah.
a little?
Yeah.
Just a little. Am I wrong with that?
No, you're not wrong with that. You're not wrong with that. And
And
this,
they're like, no, but it's Friendsgiving. saying. Okay, well, but then you got mad at someone else for saying all lives matter. You
Right.
really just tried to rebrand a genocide, and I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing the thought out there just a little.
It's all contradictory.
Yeah, I love it. Patrick, what do you got? Do you have
What do
any
you
thoughts
think
on this?
about
Real quick?
that?
I'm going to tell you.
Big
but go
It's a
ahead.
big
Big
topic.
contradiction.
It's a lot to unpack.
See,
You
I
know
can't,
what
but
I
I
mean?
can say I can say this.
See
to
that?
my
No.
co-host.
Patrick is a
would pass out if I
genius
said that.
diplomat. Just so you know, the next
I
time we
know.
need to broker
I
peace in
know.
the Mideast,
I know.
it'll be,
No,
listen,
because
it's
I
a
listen-
broad, it's a big.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and I have friends on all sides of it, and it's interesting to watch.
Hey guys, thanks for riding with us, but we're dropping you off here. Join us next episode for one of the most complex talks yet, as Chumahan talks about the Indian guilt of embracing American culture. Patrick reverse engineers the movie making process. Hear our struggle of what the identity of this podcast actually is. Hear Rachel Sterling's punishment for being left-handed, and more next time on The Hard Luck Show.